I do not support corruption.
Its implementation, and we will defend Jamaica's democracy with everything we have. Thank you.
To the Avenue, welcome forward all loyal viewers and subscribers. Give thanks for life. Today on the Avenue, we will be looking at Senator Peter Bunting presentation in the Senate, my people. And in his presentation, he will be deliberating on Portmore becoming the 15th parish. And in his deliberation, my people, he will outline a few points that is very necessary for our attention. So my people, let us get into it and hear what Peter Bunting have to say, and at the meantime leave your thoughts and views in the comment section below and let us have that discussion. Yes, my people, and if you are new here, welcome forward to the Avenue. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Let's get into it.
Thank you, Mr. President. I believe that I am the only member of the Senate here today who has served on the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. The substantive president has served, but he's absent today, and in any event would not properly be allowed to participate in the debate. So I think it is important that I perhaps shed some light on the technical process that is involved in creating new constituencies, which this bill would be doing. A new constituency, redrawing constituency boundaries. In fact, the last major such process of constituency boundary review took place in the period, I think it was 2009 to 2010, when 3 new constituencies were added to Jamaica, 2 in St. and 1 in St. James. And I must tell you, as you know, a commissioner then, a nominated commissioner, and the general secretary of the party, I was very much involved, along with then General Secretary Carl Samuda, and the director of elections, and ultimately the independent members in determining these boundaries. I remember at the time, I distinctively remember MP Warmington coming to the committee that was dealing with it to make a presentation, and he strenuously objected then to the boundaries we were discussing for the new East Central St. Catherine. And effectively, what we're seeing here today is what he was advocating for then. However, on the matters that could not be agreed between that boundaries subcommittee of the Electoral Commission, at the level of nominated commissioners and their technical assistants, which, by the way, the Electoral Commission provided a budget for a technical assistant to be employed by each party to assist in this process and to help them with the technical details, the analysis of boundaries, the analysis of electors and the sizes of PDs, etc., etc. And at the end of the day, where there was no agreement, the matter went to the independent commissioners and the so-called selected commissioners and the director of elections. And they made a final decision, and all commissioners accepted it. Those recommendations were then sent to Parliament, which by convention for the last 40 years or so has delegated the matter of constituency boundaries to the Electoral Commission of Jamaica and its predecessor, the EAC, the Electoral Advisory Committee. Now, bear in mind, this process to deal with addition of constituencies, 3 constituencies across 2 parishes, took 2 years and a tremendous amount of field work and consultation and preparation, because field officers had to be sent out with GIS devices to properly map the new boundaries, not just of constituencies, but of the PDs as well, and the local government divisions. So I give you that technical background because in this instant case we're now facing, after what the leader of government business said, it's over a century of stasis on changing constituency boundaries, but I believe one journalist, parish boundaries. But in this case, it's both, because changing parish boundaries will also be changing. It also changes constituency boundaries.
They don't even know.
In this case, after so long, I mean, one journalist today suggested it was decades, but the leader of opposition of government business said over a century. So suddenly, notwithstanding the glacial pace at which these things have moved traditionally, suddenly, within 6 months of a general election, within 6 months of when a general election is due, we are suddenly rushing to pass these bills. Well, you didn't bring it in 2020. You're bringing it now.
The report was published. You're bringing it within
And just for,
that is a sort of
you know, there's some of us in here who are economical with the truth. And one just spoke up and said that the technical work was being done. Well, I have here a letter. I have here a letter from the chairman of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, Mr. Earl Jarrett, which proves that no technical work has been done. No technical work has been done. In fact, as far back as 2024, he wrote the Minister of Local Government, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, and advised in a letter dated June 18th that the proposed Portmore parish boundaries may negatively affect the boundaries of a constituency as stated in the second schedule of the Jamaica Constitution Order in Council 1962. That is the Constitution of Jamaica. Paragraph 2, subsection 1 states as follows, quote, the boundary of a constituency shall not cross the boundary of a parish as delimited by the Counties and Parishes Act or by any law amending or replacing that law.
Repeat that, Bunting, because Arvin don't understand that. The minister beside him don't understand it. Nobody understands. Repeat it
The boundary of a constituency shall not cross the boundary of a parish as delimited by the Counties and Parishes Act or by any law amending or replacing that law. End quote.
Or shall.
Shall not. Shall not. And then, contrary to what a certain senator has suggested, on February 12th, 2025, the chairman of the Electoral Commission again wrote the clerk to the Houses of Parliament, stating the Electoral Commission of Jamaica is aware that the Counties and Parishes Amendment Bill was passed in the House of Parliament on Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. And he drew her attention to the earlier letter, the one sent June 18th, 2024, to the permanent secretary, pointing out this constitutional probable breach or breach that would occur once the bill, should the bill be passed and brought into effect. And he closes that letter and says, in the said letter of which a copy is attached, the Commission advised the permanent secretary in the ministry that the proposed boundary for the parish of Portmore will impact 4 constituencies, 13 electoral divisions, and 398 polling divisions from the parish of stcatherine. And I'll go further. This letter was sent to the clerk to the houses. I'm not sure what was done with it, but it was copied to the Director of Elections and the Director of Legal Affairs and Compliance. So, but I'll just give you some ideas.
Don't give them no idea, no, they'll take ECJ to court.
No, of what the ECJ brought to their attention. Section, this is just reading one paragraph, showing all the challenges that this would cause in terms of the work of the ECJ.
Tell us.
And I'll just read, there are many bullets, but one of them, for example, says, sections of the Gregory Park and Portmore Pines divisions will be eliminated. All of PDs 51, 53, 55, and 56 will be eliminated. PDs 1, 20, 49, 50, 52, and 54 will be cut into pieces.
Splinter.
Will be splintered.
Yes, all right.
And a section of these PDs will be included by the proposed boundaries. So you are not just shattering constituency boundaries or local government division boundaries, but right down to the PD level. 398 PDs.
Even one KFC, them will move from Portmore. Even one KFC.
Subsequently, this, Mr. Speaker, is of such moment that the chairman of the People's National Party, Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, wrote to the Minister of Local Government on February 21st, 2025, reminding him of the constitutional provision, which I repeat again, the boundary of a constituency shall not cross the boundary of a parish as delimited by the Counties and Parishes Act or by any law amending or replacing that law. And of course, this is the Constitution, so that clause you read, superseding other laws, has no application here. And she goes on, consequently, the bill, if passed into law and made operational, will immediately be unconstitutional. Immediately be unconstitutional.
Like the next bill.
So she urges that this bill not be brought into effect, even if it is passed here today. The truth of the matter is that no work has taken place at this point by the ECJ. And we are now in the final day of February. So even if this bill were passed and brought into effect, then it would be April before any work could commence. That is the work on that will impact 4 constituencies, 13 electoral divisions, and 398 polling divisions from the parish of St. Catherine. Now, we know that a new voters list will be issued on May 31st.
The preliminary one.
No, the final list, May 31st and November 30th. Those are the 2 times each year that a list is updated and published. So the next one is due on the 31st of May. But those of us who have represented constituencies also know that a draft list is issued at the beginning of May, so that the parties and their liaison officers have a chance to scrutinize the lists, identify any anomalies, and there are often anomalies, persons placed in the wrong PDs or even in the wrong constituencies, and they have a period, I think it's typically 10 days, to come back to the returning officer in the constituency, who then forwards those to the Director of Elections, and they are amended or corrected. So what we're really talking about is maybe a month and a half in which it would need the time to do all this work on the 4 constituencies, 13 electoral divisions, and 398 polling divisions. That cannot be done properly in that time. That would take at least 1 year for that work to be done. And I speak with knowledge because I was intimately involved the last time it was done. And again, it's constitutionally bound. So I think it was important, Mr. President, to give that technical context on the work of the Electoral Commission. As somebody who served there for 7 years and was very involved in the last period.
Thank you very much.
So you will understand why today I rise in absolute and unrelenting opposition to this bill. This brazen, undemocratic, and dangerous piece of legislation that seeks to undermine Jamaica's hard-earned democratic traditions. Let me be unequivocal. Let me be unequivocal. This bill is not about progress. This bill is not about governance. This bill is not about the betterment of Portmore. This bill is a cynical political maneuver designed to subvert democracy and manipulate electoral boundaries for partisan gain.
As you can hear in my people, that is all for now, What is your thoughts and views on all of this? Leave it in the comment section below and let us have that discussion. Yes, my people, please like and share and subscribe to the channel. Out for now, catch you in the next one.